So Jesse, you've been with me for about a year now, I think a little bit over that.
Yes.
But this is our first episode of Rising the Phoenix, so I kind of want to introduce you to some of our students.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Jesse Trader. I grew up in Buda. Well, grew up since third grade in Buda, so I've been around the area for a while now. I'm 21, I'll be 22 this year. Right now I'm living in Austin, so I drive down from South Austin to attend classes, and
That's the dedication I want to hear.
Yes, sir. I try to show up to class as much as I can.
Yeah, so, I kind of know you as a sort of yogi, transcendental, sort of hippie guy, but, what are some of your interests? Am I kind of right on that depiction of you, or?
That's definitely an aspect of what I like to study. I guess that would be a good place to start. I love to study things. I love school. I just finished up at ACC with my associates in English, and now I'm going
Congratulations on that.
I'm going to St. Edward's this coming fall to study English literature.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm a fellow English major, so I appreciate that.
So a big part of it, a big part of why I am choosing English as my major is because I love to read, and I feel like, I'm going to be reading anyway, so I might as well go to school and read what they give me, and continue along that path of just accruing more knowledge. The yogi aspect, I definitely, in terms of physical exercise and practice, yoga was kind of the first thing that I got into.
I can definitely tell with your technique, you have really good balance and poise.
Thank you.
Things that we need to work on, I think over the next year or so, is working on that explosion.
Yes.
You got this. You got the size. How tall are you, Jesse?
I am 6'5".
6'5". You're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be an absolute monster, but you gotta eat more. You gotta
Yes,
put
sir.
some muscle on there.
It's a work in progress.
But also, when you are taller, it's easy to use that as an advantage. You got to remember that technique needs
Yes,
to
sir.
come first. But yeah, once you develop that explosion, I think all that coordination you learned in yoga is going to come in real handy. So today we're working on forms.
Yes.
And you've gone up through the ranks. You're now a green belt here at the school, which is, in Taekwondo, symbolizes that you're one of our cornerstone members. You've been with us for at least a year, you're training hard. And over that time, you've been exposed to a number of different forms, both the Tegu forms and the Pagwe forms.
Yes.
Currently, you're working on Pagwe Samjang and Pagwe Sajang. Of the forms you've learned over this last year, what is your favorite?
I think in terms of how it feels in my body, Pagwe Samjang, I really enjoy that. But in terms of just the, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the right word. Maybe kind of in a romantic way, the first form that I learned. Right now it's Kibon Young that the white belts are doing, but we did Kibon Il.
Kibon Ilyang.
Kibon Ilyang.
Yeah, is what we used to do back in the day.
Yes, sir. And so just, the low blocks and the straight punches.
Just the simplicity of it.
Yes, it's nice. It's nice because I remember coming into class, my first month or so, and seeing you do that form and thinking like, it's those simple moves, but to see somebody who has been training execute those moves, it's clearly just on a different level from like where I was coming in. So
You're getting that too.
yes, sir. Thank you.
I think that's one of the beauties of martial arts is that you can find the complexity and the simplicity. That first form, which we call Kibonyan, it only has two techniques, slow block and lead punch, but there's so much there, the turning and stuff. It's surprising how many people come onto the floor and they just struggle with that, even adults, not just the kids, especially, on like number 8 when you get a turn over your shoulder. It's very unintuitive, and just a way keeping your balance while you're turning will teach you a lot. I think a lot of people overlook forms because they think it's a sort of vestigial remnant of an older time. But, you know, especially right now, where we can't train together, forms play a very important role. They're basically a workout exercise with all of your techniques that you need to know at your rank put together, and you can't stop once you start, so you got to go through that routine.
Right. Yes, sir.
And they also teach you a lot of things that I think people overlook, like those stances make your legs strong, stretch your hips out, which gives you that extra extension that generates into power, you know, and that all that turning really teaches you a lot about balance. You know, it's not that easy. I see a lot of, you know, people even with great coordination kind of staggering about as they're trying to pivot properly. So, and as I get older, I really fall in love with the forms because there's something that you can do at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can still keep working on your forms. So, you know, tell me about you or your family. I know you come from a big family.
Yes.
Family of 6. How many people are living in your house?
Well,
it's like the Brady Bunch over there.
Yes,
right?
living in the house when we're all there. So my girlfriend and I just moved out, and so we're living in Austin. But at the house in San Marcos, there's, when my girlfriend was staying with us, there was 7 of us.
7?
Yes.
Wow.
So, big family. We've got kind of a unique family situation without getting too personal. It's kind of a chosen family.
Yeah.
So, we have, you know, connections all over the country, really, and who I'm living with now, or my family in San Marcos, that's kind of like who has really been supporting me, at least in Texas, during this time of my life, and my biological parents live in Ohio, and so that's, you know, a whole other aspect of the family. So I consider my family very big and very loving.
Yeah. And my family is also from Ohio, so we have that shared connection there. You said it's, where in Ohio is your family from?
So my mother lives in Eaton, so they're in southwest.
Southwest?
Yes,
Yeah.
like right on the
Nothing
border
out
of
there.
Indiana.
My family is from like the, I want to say Toledo, but we don't say Toledo, we say Toledo? Yeah, sorry, Toledo. Toledo is how they say it, yeah, Toledo, Ohio. And it's just super flat out there, it's just like pancake, you know. Always very interesting, but kind of depressing going out there.
It is. It's such a change. There's I was reading, it's a book called God Save Texas, and in the first chapter he's talking about the beauty of Texas, and compared to other places in the country, he kind of sums it up with the word subtle. He's like, the beauty of Texas is very subtle. You know, there's no majestic mountain ranges. There's no, you know, beautiful, huge rolling hills. You know, we live in Central Texas. We have the hill country, but when you go to somewhere like New Hampshire or Vermont, right, like those are hills. And so living in Texas has really allowed me to.
But it's got a little bit of everything in subtle ways, so it's just kind of nice.
Yes,
yeah, for
definitely.
sure. And you have a really interesting story to tell. I think maybe as we, you know, progress with these episodes, we can get into that more. I know I've talked to you at length about your family and your, you know, why you came here to start training and stuff and all that. So I'm hoping that we can touch on that maybe at some point. This is the first episode. I just want to kind of get you introduced to people. You know, is there anything else you can think of that you think our viewers would be interested in knowing about you?
I am a big proponent of the meditation classes here at the school, at the dojo. Over this quarantine period, that's been a big part of my practice at home. I haven't been doing as much physical exercise. I have been, you know, keeping up with my exercises, but I've gone and kind of dug into different forms of meditation, and I've been reading a lot about different meditation traditions. So, you know, connecting forms and meditation, that's been something I'm working on as well. As you were saying with, you know, the forms, as you get older and as you progress through the martial arts, it eventually becomes something that you can always come back to, right? And you can find presence there, and, you know, whether you're moving fast or slow, it's all about having your mind right there in that form. So
that's awesome.
Yes, I really appreciate that part of the martial arts, and I feel like from an outsider perspective, that's something that could be missed.
Yeah.
But it's here. It is.
Sure. Well, Jesse, it was great to get to meet you a little bit more. I'm sure, you know, people are excited to learn about you. And we're going to check back in with you in a few months and see where you're at in your training.